Otra vez que me hizo recordar a mí, a ti. Otra vez esas preguntas y siempre respondo igual. Dicen que lástima es perder un amor como tal, pero nunca te perdí. Nunca te perdí, tu amor nunca mío fue. Seguí siempre creyendo lo que quería creer, promesas imaginarias que no podrías cumplir, pero es un pecado, oh, es pecado mentirse a uno mismo, pero nunca te perdí, oh, nunca te perdí, nunca te perdí, tu amor nunca mío fue. Tú me diste todo lo que tenías en mí. Sin embargo, yo quería más de ti. Pero cuando necesité que te entregarás completo, no había más que dar, eso era, y no había nada más. A veces en la profundidad, en mis sueños yo te abrazo, me pierdo en tus caricias, parecía que vivo una realidad. Y yo sé, oh, yo sé, te tendré hasta el final, pero nunca te perdí. Oh, nunca te perdí, nunca te perdí. Tu amor nunca mío fue. Pero nunca te perdí. Nunca te perdí. Nunca te perdí. Tu amor nunca mío fue.
Hey guys, we're
Grupo Viral.
Don't go away. Keep watching Bumpers Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Wednesday. Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered. The real deal. No pre-planning. No chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
I'm like, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special Thursday edition of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, live from the studio here in San Antonio. And ladies and gentlemen, me and Ellie are both been excited since we got word that, since we got the agreement, we had to send her a contract and all kinds of stuff to get her to get your blood sample,
urine sample.
Man,
body cavity search.
If my voice sounds a little hoarse already, it's because I've been laughing my ass off since she's walked in the door. So, no, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the special Thursday edition of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. I had to get this interview in. I had to. I told Eddie as soon as this announcement was made, I said, I got to call my girl. She's usually pretty busy. If you guys follow my guest on social media, you know how busy she is. And we're going to talk about that. But ladies and gentlemen, my guest this evening, the beautiful, the lovely, a little piece of dynamite, just a super, super person, man. If you know her personally, she's just a super person. Ladies and gentlemen, LMD, Little Miss Dynamite, is Shelly Lares.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I thought you were going to say Patsy Torres. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Goodness.
It's good to be here with you guys. I mean, I always love seeing both of y'all, you know.
It's good
So thanks
show.
for having me.
And you're everywhere.
I know. It's been crazy. I've been very blessed still. You know, I'm doing all of the things that I love, all of the things that I set out to do since 2022 has just, you know, been magnified more than what I thought, to be honest. You know, working in rooms now with people that really value me as a businesswoman, as a producer, as just a person that's been giving my life to Tejano music for so long, and more opportunities have been coming my way in different aspects, and still receiving flowers. You know, it's just been incredible. I came out hot out of the gate, like right after my retirement from the road. I got really busy right out of the gate. And then 2025, I pumped the brakes big time. Well, because I got married, obviously, in the beginning of January. And, you know, I said, let me hold back a little bit. But it was almost like, okay, what goals am I going to set for myself now this year? And February, March, you know, started again.
I saw you in January, and you were still kind of walking a little bit to the left. I saw you walk in today, and you're walking straight up, ready to go. And usually people walk to the left right when they get married because that wedding ring's real heavy, and they just.
Well, I mean, I'm chueca. I mean, you know, that's what we say in the gay world. So you're never gonna see me walking straight, Bump. I mean, you're delusional right now, Bump. I mean, you know, I'm gonna always walk with the little chuequitzen happening, you know.
Oh, dude, this might be.
It is what it is.
Eddie, this might be Ramirez show, dude.
I mean,
this might be.
Why is he acting brand new, Eddie? You know, why is he acting brand new?
I definitely did not mean that. I literally.
I know.
I told
But it's funny, in the
everybody.
gay world, we take that seriously. It's like when we're driving in the car and someone goes straight, and you'd never tell a gay person go straight. Just tell them go forward. Don't ever say go straight.
Wow, man.
But no, I mean, things are so good right now. I mean, it's just been incredible. And I still have big goals that I want to achieve within the next few years, God willing. But I always say this, man, if God were to take me today, take me tomorrow, I have lived a long, happy, like, I've done so many things in my 53 years, for sure.
No, you definitely have. And, you know, when I started this show, I always tell people this. And this is because you're here, I want to tell you, this is a conversation that happens all the time. Bump, like, who, you know, how did you get your guests on the show? And I'm like, well, I just reached out to them. You know, all they can do is tell you no, or they can leave you unread, which happened quite a bit when I first started, right?
In the beginning,
right?
Oh, now everybody wants
but I reached out to Shell, and let me tell you, this is the God honest truth thing. She reached out to me right away. She's like, "Hey, I can't do it right now, but get with me, and we're gonna make it happen." And a little bit of time went by. She got back with me. She's like, "Hey, let's do it." She came in here, and it was one of my first biggest interviews that I had ever done on Bumper's Wacky Wednesday way back man, this was probably 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably has been.
And it's still one of my favorites. You know, every time I get to come on the show, it's always fun because it's real and, you know, it's not scripted and, you know, it's pretty much what you see is what you get, you
That's
know, with
it.
everyone here. So I love that. I love it. And everything's looking so much better now that you brought Eddie on. I mean, you know, he just, nombre chara, making
Wow.
everything look really great. So kudos to y'all, man.
Nah, Eddie has done an outstanding job, especially, you know, with the production part
Heck
and the
yeah,
show
man.
and stuff.
Sound too.
Sounding
Don't-
great.
Yeah, don't forget the sound. It's very important because
When Shelly came the first time, it was, I think, 2 chairs, had 2 microphones.
it was still comfy.
It was,
still was good.
but
It was
but
still
no, but
good.
I'm just saying, like we were just getting started. But
But you were manning the buttons at the time.
yeah,
so,
we were kind of trying to hold down the
Great.
fort.
But I always love seeing our people prosper and doing what they love. And you know, nobody made you do this. You did it because you love it.
Yeah,
And because
for
you
sure.
love Tejano and you have appreciation for the genre and for the artists and for the fans.
No,
And so that's good.
definitely, Shell. Like, you know, what I really love the most about it is that, you know, after tonight's show, like, people get to know your thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody doesn't follow you on social media and they watch the show, but they're fans of Shelly Lares. Well, you know, you might take something from tonight that you never knew about her. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how funny she can be, because sometimes I'm gonna tell you, if you caught her on a show, which has been some years, right? But if you catch her, even when she's at one of her artist shows, you're moving with a purpose, right? Like you
Oh,
really
yeah.
don't have the time to sit
I
there
don't
and
mess around when it comes
BS.
to my artist. That's for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
And today's interview is so special because, like I was telling you guys in the beginning of the show, I really wanted to get this interview in before tomorrow, because tomorrow's a big day, dude.
It came really fast, dude. Yeah. It's
Are you
the one
nervous?
night only. No, I'm not nervous at all. Not at all. I mean, I never would get
Till
nervous
tomorrow
on
when
stage.
you wake up?
Nah. I mean, even since I was 10 years old, being on a stage, I never felt nervous. It's just, you know, it's just nature for me just to be on a stage. The only thing I was concerned about, well, for the whole month of March, you know, that's all I heard was them wanting me to go and them contacting me, Nick Guerra, and then Perry, you know, the owner
Yeah,
of the
Mr. Perry.
establishment. And just telling me, think about it. And I'm like, it's not that I don't miss the fans. Obviously, I
Right.
miss the fans. It was just my finding the time to, first of all, get my band together, because we haven't been on a stage since my final bow in 2022,
Okay.
which was December of 2022 was the last time I performed on a stage with my band. And even then, I only did 3 songs that night. I mean, it had been since probably... I think Dallas New West was my last full show with my band in 22. And so I haven't, you know, stepped on stage with them, and they're doing other things. I'm doing other things. They're talking about a Friday when either I'm in studio or I'm seeing patients, or, you know, I'm working with UTSA students, or something's going to always happen. So I just kept saying, I don't know. Let me think about it. Nick kept blowing me up. Shelly, you know, got to do this. We want you to do this. And I love Nick. You know, he's my friend. We've been friends a long time. And Perry came to San Antonio and took me to eat at J. Alexander. And he was like, we're really excited about you coming. So I had told Nick, I said, look, let me reach out to my band and I'll let you know by noon tomorrow. And I messaged my boys that morning and told them what was happening. Of course, they're all... Are you crazy? Yes, we want to do it.
Did you have to go like this to the group chat?
I know, right?
Blow the dust off the
well,
group
no,
chat?
not really, because actually 3 of them were actually performing with my artists, with my
Okay.
new artists. So
Okay.
I'd still been in touch with my guys, you know. And so then I asked them, and they're like, yes, absolutely. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to call them back by noon. They were calling me again. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But, you know, of course, now we have to talk price. You know, so they were like, well, whatever. And I'm like, okay, so gave my price, and here we are doing a one night only show.
In Katy, Texas.
Yeah.
And Shelly, have you gone through social media and seen the videos of this place?
Yeah. I mean, I'd follow it. I always follow venues that are bringing Tejano music, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I support I support. They don't have to be in San Antonio for me to support. And I love it. I love to see it. I love to see the fans still out there, you know, spending their hard-earned money to go and seeing veteran artists, you know, and you know, and that's one of the things that a lot of fans, you know, will have good things and bad things to say about it, you know, that it's mostly veteran artists. But, you know, it's a good thing that we're still kind of holding down the fort for people, and the artists are still holding down the fort that are still out on the road. But eventually, you know, we need to start kind of opening up a little small door for the next generation, because, you know, Roberto, who's going to be doing the show with me, is retiring this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that man has way more years over me. And then Elida, of course, retiring this year. Bobby's retiring this year. It's like eventually everybody's, you know, gonna want to do other things, you know. And we all have been doing this for so long. But yeah, I mean, I never read the comments, so everyone always asks me about some of the bad stuff that's said, but I never really read the comments on it. I just go by what my close inner circle tells me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I guess it's better than me doing the calling, you know, because they're calling me.
You know, Shel, you're always gonna no matter what you do, like look at somebody like Michael Jordan, right? You retire, and then you know, they for some whatever reason they come back, whether it's one time or they're gonna play a season, whatever.
Yeah, George Strait too.
Right? How many times did George Strait retire?
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I was to answer honestly at this moment, like, would it want to be something I'd want to do all the time again? No, I would not, because I don't have the time for it. Honestly, I'm already committed to other things that I'm loving, and I'm in a different chapter of my life right now. You know, I still do the Super Legends cruise. I mean, I'm going to do the Super Legends cruise this September with Jody Watley and Sheila E. And I have the unit backing me up. It's not my band, but it's a 15-minute show. It's not, you know. And this is a 75-minute show that I'm doing tomorrow. So it's like, you know. And they asked me, like, do you want to do a 90-minute set or a 75-minute set? I said, no, 75 minutes. 75 minutes.
Hey, they were trying to squeeze that orange as best they could
and then I did have to talk to my band, because we have to have rehearsals. I mean, we don't just get back on stage and, you know. And then for the most thing that I was more concerned about, not in a bad way, but that I wanted to start focusing on, was my voice, because, you know, mind you, I would do vocal warm-ups all the time when I was on the road every weekend. And I sing in the studio, but I don't really sing 75 minutes. And it's even my ears have changed. Like, I go watch a show and I have to put my plug in my ear because I have tinnitus and everything's so loud now. I'm like, how in the world did I do it for so many years? And Tejano drummers are the worst.
Hey, hold up. Let's rewind it. Tejano drummers are the worst?
They're the worst. When it comes to playing the freaking snare so loud, dude. I'm like, can you stop? Like in my ear hole, dude. So, you know, it was weird. When I noticed it was I think it was in 2023. El Gallo Des had opened up for Jay in Lubbock. And so I watched Jay, and the drummer was always like, oh, Lord, have mercy. Like, how did we play this loud? So, you know, my ears have just gotten used to studio now, like, you know. And so I just have to be careful. But my voice was something I was concerned about. So as soon as I committed, which was a little under a month ago, I started doing my vocal warm-ups every day. And then we have allergies here in San Antonio, so I can't take antihistamines. As I get closer to the show, I couldn't, like this past week, I had to be very careful not to drive myself out too much, and I have to do my Navage machine and like.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Eddie, give me the camera. Give me the camera.
You're gonna talk about is this the Navage machine?
Dude.
Has someone else told you about the Navage? Because
No,
I live by the Navage.
I've seen it. So let me explain this to you, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a video I just did this morning. No lie. I have a video. So here I am talking about it.
So being that
there's my Navage.
from allergies, because we are in San
Show
Antonio,
it right there. Show it right there.
There's my Navage.
and the fact that I have to sing on Friday,
See?
which I haven't done in 3 years for a 75-minute show,
Navage, if you're watching,
because
hashtag endorse Shelly Lares.
not be good.
So yeah, so go ahead and tell them. Go ahead and tell them about the
so
Navage.
let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. So this thing has two things for your
Two nose holes.
Two nose holes, right?
Two for
so,
your two
so
nose holes.
basically, you're taking clean water, and you're running water through your whole sinus cavity, through through everywhere. It goes up around your eyes, all the way around. So it's supposed to clear everything out. Mm-hmm. But as it goes in one, it comes out the other, right?
What do you mean it comes out the other? It goes into the compartment if you're doing it correctly.
But it goes around
you're
and it
not
comes
supposed
back
to breathe
out.
through your nose when you're doing this, Bump. Okay, so
I tried it, and the reason I tell you is
are you
gotta
gonna say what Mia told me? She said I was drowning her.
Dude, exactly.
Oh my God, y'all
literally-
are so dramatic.
It literally, look, if you want to know what it feels like to drown, put
Dude,
the
no,
Navage.
dude, no. He is giving Navage a bad name right now, okay? So let me explain it properly. It has two compartments. The bottom compartment is what catches your mocos or whatever you got going on in your sinuses, okay? The middle part, obviously, is what he says, where the two things go in your nose, and they switch, because it switches directions. The top part is for distilled water. Don't put faucet water.
Vodka?
No, don't. And then there's a little, it comes with salt pods. So I usually like warm up the distilled water a little bit so it doesn't give me a brain freeze. Maybe that's what happened to you. And then so I put the salt pod on, and then you just put it in. There's a button, you hold it up. What I do is I kind of lean over a sink, and I always have like a paper or a toallita next to me, and I'll watch the water go down. Breathe through your mouth. Don't breathe through your nose, because there's water shooting up in it. I mean, it's super simple, dude. Like, don't breathe through your nose.
So, Shell, you in the next 2 weeks on your social media,
You want me to do?
you're gonna have to post a video
Okay, I'll do it.
of like the whole process.
Because I got Monica Saldivar on it, and I did a tutorial with her on the video. I also got Mark Ledesma on it. I've gotten every vocalist that I know that suffers from allergens to do the Navage.
All right, Eddie, we're
because
gonna have to go buy one.
You cannot do nose sprays. You cannot do antihistamines.
That's the only thing you can do. Distilled water.
Yeah, I mean, it's what clears out your sinuses. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Man, that's crazy.
And
Shelly
because
Lares
I've
does
always
the
been
Navage.
disciplined with my voice too, so it wasn't. Again, I was concerned, and you know, most of the songs are not hard songs, but when I get into like Volver Volver and I get into Don't Stop Believing, and that's why I always do those songs at the end of my show, because they're the most vocally challenging songs
You're warmed up
that I do.
already.
Yeah, but when I do performance shows, I do a 40 to 1 hour warm ups, for sure, and I have to do them about an hour and a half before my show, because when you do the lip rolls, like it loosens up your sinuses and then starts to drain, and then you start going and that's bad for your voice. So yeah.
Wow. See, you learned something new
Yeah.
you learned something today on a special Thursday edition of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday with Shelly Lares.
We will post the cash app for the
Navage,
tutorials,
for the
of the
tutorials, there
Navage
you go.
and the tutorials of the vocal warm-ups.
So when you guys buy the Navage, call me, and I won't give you her number, but I'll three-way you so you could call me.
We'll do a video, and we will post it here.
Instructions.
Hey, I really think Navage should endorse some of us Tejano artists, you know, some of the vocalists, but that thing works good. I used to get sinusitis every 3 months. I'd have to go get a steroid shot. I'd have to get on medication.
And that thing
Ever
hasn't?
since I got the Navage, I never got sinusitis again.
Well,
No lie.
So I'm going to tell you what I do for mine.
What?
I sleep with a CPAP,
Oh, well, there, yeah.
and I don't put water in it.
Oh, are you supposed to?
Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah, because if
It's
not,
supposed to moisten and
right,
like kind of.
But you wake up all seco, your lips, your teeth.
Well, that's what happens when you don't put some water. Este vato, I don't know. He's like doing everything wrong. He's like not putting water in the CPAP.
I tell my wife it's like sleeping with Tom Cruise,
Oh, Lord.
like I'm driving a jet.
If you want to say, okay, if you think that's what it looks like. We haven't seen her POV yet.
Oh my God.
Let's ask her to do a video of the POV of Bump with the CPAP on. I would love to see that.
Oh
man.
my goodness. Well, again, this is a Wacky Thursday. You never know what you're going to get. And we're
Yeah.
here with the legend, Shelly Lares. And, you know, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night, Katy, Texas is the place to be if you're a huge Tejano fan. Why do I say that? Because it's been 3 years that we've seen Shelly do a full set with her band. And tomorrow night, Katy, Texas, you guys are the you guys are the place. You know, that's where everybody's going to be at. Shelly's going to be there. Not only is Shelly going to be there, El Primo Roberto Pulido's going to be there.
Legend, pioneer, icon, Roberto Pulido. I mean, come on, you know.
And this is what the Texas Rodeo Saloon, man.
Yeah,
The Texas
we're excited.
Rodeo Saloon. So you guys can get your tickets. I believe, what is it? Is it?
I think they're full.
What's that?
TexasRodeoSaloon.com.
TexasRadioSaloon.com. And then the phone number I think is there somewhere. I've been posting it too.
Yeah, TexasRodeoSaloon.com. You can still get your tickets. You can get VIP tables if you would like. I don't know if there's any left, but you can call and find out. But Texas Rodeo Saloon tomorrow night, Katy, Texas, El Primo Roberto Pulido, Shelly Lares.
And I was asking everyone,
¿Qué más
should I
quieres?
wear my J's or should I wear my hat?
What are you going to do?
Well, everyone says my cowboy hat. Hands down, everyone. I think only maybe 3 people said just go like I am, but everyone said, because I haven't worn my cowboy
Wardrobe
hat.
change.
I haven't worn my cowboy hat in, well, the last time I kind of wore it was in Vegas, like in 21 or so. But like I actually have my hat again.
And speaking of cowboy hats and the name, Shelly Lares, since she brought it up, I'm going to bring it up. So Shelly Lares, if you guys were, and I just watched it the other day.
What is it?
Like 2 weeks ago, me and my wife did a 2-day binge. Mm-hmm. We watched the Selena Netflix series, right? And so there's a little
Like the last one or
the one on Netflix that came out a couple of years back, right?
Okay.
So I remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you're here. I remember that the little girl came on and she was Shelly Lares on the stage. And she had a cowboy hat on, but she wasn't wearing like a Tejana would. She was just, you could tell it was Hollywood putting a cowboy hat on a young lady. And so I waited. I was like maybe a day or two. Shit, it might have been the next day after that one. It was the next day.
It was literally the next day.
Shelly posted a picture with her and her hat on. She's like, "Hey, just for the record, I do know how to wear cowboy."
I think I know where they got it from. I think they got it from like Tu Solo Tu album cover. But I wasn't really wearing like a legit cowboy hat on that cover.
It was kind of like one that you wore like up here?
It was like, yeah, it wasn't a legit like the one on my picture that you guys are posting. And so yeah, it was way back there and I was like, oh man. So that bothered me. And I didn't see the series. I just saw
You still haven't seen it?
No. I've never seen the movie or series or anything. Just because fans were tagging me on it, and I would just saw that one little piece.
Clip, yeah.
So that bothered me, and then the second thing that bothered me was the me in the series is off stage and talking with her guys, and this is water, but she's like holding a beer, and I'm like, okay, so that is so not me. Y'all know. I mean, I like to have a beer. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you're not.
But I don't do it on stage. You will
sure.
never see me with alcohol, or my band on stage or, during my break. I never did that. Never did that on the road or whatever. The only time that there would be like a shot is when I was with the Tres Divas because my girls like to drink. So,
You
that was the only
didn't want to be
time.
the oddball.
They were necias, I swear to God, on the road with that.
Hey, dude, and they both get down on some tequila too.
I don't know about now. I think they've kind of chilled a little bit.
Oh, but back in the day
Back in the day, good Lord, during the tour, like it was every freaking night they were going out, all of them. The whole band was going out. I was the only one that was in the room. Like,
chilling.
I only went out the last night we were in Okinawa. That was the only night I went out.
You went to Gate 2 Street.
We went to Salsa Bar off the base. Yeah, and we had so much fun. What we remember of it. Wow. But I do like to have it, but that's what I saw in the series. But yeah. So the funny thing is like, I went to a Western store when I started asking fans about it because, I used to be endorsed by Wrangler. Emilio and I were the two Tejano artists endorsed by Wrangler. And our job was we would go to the warehouse in Dallas and they would have it set up. It looked like a store,
Yeah.
And all of the clothing in there was stuff that was before it came out in the store. So we saw everything first.
Yeah.
And we would just go and I would be like, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. And then for my guys, I would pick up like 5 different shirts for them for that month.
Yeah.
I want that one for my guys, that one. And then they had all of the sizes and then I wanted those jeans and I wanted those jeans. And back then when they had like the patent leather looking Wranglers, I don't know if you ever saw those. They look like patent leather, but or they were like vinyl, something like that. I was the first girl to wear them on the stage. And they were hot. Dude, I hated taking those suckers off after my show. I had to wait a little while to take them off. I feel like Ross on Friends. Did y'all ever see that episode of Ross on Friends when he's with the baby powder trying to like put him back on because he couldn't put him back on after he took them off?
Oh,
they
dude.
were bad, dude.
I think Eddie. I think she's coming from Ram's record, bro. I really
Dude,
do
I'm
do
serious.
That.
It was bad. So I was the first to wear that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna wear my Western stuff again. I only had, like, that I remembered, like 2 or 3 hats. Out of the hats I've had throughout my career, I would throw all of my cowboy hats after my shows. Especially when I did state fairs and all that. I would throw all my cowboy hats out all the time. So I was like, okay. I knew I had one that I used for that photo, but that was like an old one. And it wasn't a very good one, a nice one. I just did it for the picture. But I was like, I know I have my white Stetson from 1994. I know I have it somewhere. And I knew it was at my mom's house because I keep everything at mom's. But I didn't know where it was at. And I was like, do I still have it? Because I bought it in 1994 and I would wear it on stage. And I wore it at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo when Emilio and I did Inside the Freeman Coliseum.
Okay.
We did the Hano night, he and I. And I was wearing all white that night. And I had that white Stetson. So I went to my mom's and I look up in my old band room and there's my old hat box, right? My whole old hat case. I mean, even the little thing to open it was all rusted already. And I opened it and I'm like, and I had it in some plastic.
Yeah.
And I pulled it out and I was like, it looked brand new. It's like brand new. Just needed a little cleaning, but it's brand new. So I'm like, all right, I think I'll wear my white Stetson for the show. So I took it to my friend Chris over at Boot Barn and he's cleaning it for me and getting it all pretty.
Shaped up, nice and pretty.
Yeah. He asked me if I wanted to change the shape. But when I went to that Western store, like the Wranglers are not the same. They're not the same.
You mean the Wranglers now?
Yeah. I don't like them.
Dude. Well, Shell, you know...
I don't know what it is about them, but like, the one thing I did like that they have now is they have stretchy. Because we did not have stretchy pants. But then I was like a size 1 or 2 Chihuahua.
So you never wore those Rocky Mountain ones?
No, that was a competition.
I know, but before Wrangler.
No, I just wore Wrangler.
That's it.
Rocky Mountain, what they were different with the Wranglers, Wrangler didn't have high-waisted.
Yeah.
And Rocky Mountains were known for the high-waisted, right?
And the smooth back part.
I guess, I don't know.
No,
no, I wasn't going to be sponsored by Wrangler or wear Rocky Mountain. It's like being sponsored by Miller Lite and then I'm promoting Budweiser. You just don't do that. It's like
I got you.
It's like having something in your nose and breathing through your nose. So it's kind of the same thing. What we were talking about, having a CPAP and not adding water to it.
Oh my goodness! You guys didn't know what the hell you were gonna get with Shelly. I told you she's Little Miss Dynamite for a reason.
Okay, so I legit was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, you know, because back in the day, dude, you'd walk into like Cavender's and you'd find some badass jackets, you know, and good stuff like that was stage worthy, you know, and now it's like, you know, it's like not the same.
But you couldn't go to Cavender's. You wear something there. There's gonna be like 4 girls in your crowd wearing your same blouse.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that's what was so cool about being endorsed at that time is because nobody was wearing it yet.
Yeah,
nobody was wearing it yet.
That's
and then
cool,
later
man.
on, we would already be in the next season, and someone would be wearing the shirts my guys were wearing the season before. So it's really cool.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I mean, I would get boxes and boxes of clothes
and Shel, did you like, you know, going through your career, right? You did the cowgirl thing, right? You wore the cowboy hats. What changed? You just like once like, hey, I'm just gonna go back to just.
Then I went like into my little rocker phase where Mia would like give me like a slick mohawk looking type hair when my hair was real long. I mean, my hair's long now, but it was longer. I just would go through phases and it depended on how I was feeling, you know, for the day. Because to me, like when I wear my cowboy hat, it's just a different persona for me. Like I feel very different when I perform in my cowboy hat. Because think about it. If I look back at the women of Tejano, the first woman that I knew that wore a cowboy hat was Janie C. Ramirez back in the day.
Right.
Like late 70s, early 80s. And then, so I was really the first female artist to wear a cowboy hat.
Yeah, because
You know, nobody was wearing them. Nobody was wearing them at that time. Fans started wearing them, obviously, but female artists were not really wearing them, when I started wearing it. So it became my signature, though. It became my signature, and fans liked it. But then I was like, okay, it's always like, you want to just do something different. And so and even with my hair color, like I've had every color you can think of. Every color that's on your sound panels right now. I've had it. Red, blonde,
blue,
black.
blue.
No, I've never had blue. I take it back.
Hombre.
So I'd have to say brown, black, red, and blonde. And everyone still wants me to have red hair, and I'm like, hell no. Because I hate going to the beauty salon. That color, y'all, I had to maintain that.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, to be 21 again.
How old were you right
I was
there?
21. I was 21 years old there.
Dang, man. That's
and skinny
wild.
as can be. And TV adds 10 pounds to you guys.
So, okay.
So now that's why Puro Butterball right now, you're looking at me chewing, wow. But yeah, no, so the red, that was another color that really became my signature, was the red hair.
Yeah.
But I'd have to thank Melissa Anguiano. She was my hairstylist and my colorist at that time. And I remember when I told her, I said, I think I want to start going into reds. She goes, okay, it's a process.
Like
we have to work our way into it. And we did, but I'd have to go all the time. My roots would start coming out, especially when I wasn't wearing a hat.
Yeah.
You would see my roots coming out, and I to this day, I hate going to the beauty salon.
Eggshell, and your hair's black.
No, my hair is brown. Like it's like brown red. I have a lot of red in my hair already.
Already, yeah.
So, but I was like, oh man, my grays are coming out.
Because I know my wife, when we send into the hairstyle, she has that black Indian Mayan hair that's black, hair. And so you gotta, like you just said, it's a process. You can't just go in there and expect that it's gonna be.
Especially when you have dark hair, you can't throw red over it.
Yeah.
It's like a wall. Think about when you're painting a wall.
Yeah.
You have to have the primer, so you have to get it to you have to strip your hair color basically, and they have to bleach your hair color out. And it's no fun. And if you're not a professional, you can mess up someone's hair. But Melissa was the bomb. I don't know if you saw it, but I posted on my TikTok from my video shoot of my album Quiero Ser Tu Amante, which was my 1994 album, where I'm in the red dress and I have my red hair, and that was one of the most iconic photos that every fan loves. And I just recently uploaded it to streaming platforms beginning of January, because that was one that I purposely didn't put on streaming platforms.
Was it just because you didn't want to?
Because I wanted fans to continue to want it, And I still have about 5 albums, no, maybe more, maybe about 7 albums that are not on streaming platforms yet. And so I was like, I think it's time for me to put it up.
So you're that artist that we have to, if it's a song, right? If we're in Apple, we use Apple Music, right?
Apple Music.
And we want to hear the song, and it's like you type in Shelly Lares and the song's not there.
Yeah.
And then you Google it, you're like, it's on YouTube that somebody
else
did it, and it has the lyrics or whatever, and that's the only way you can hear the song.
Those people, I swear to God, I do, y'all. It's just people don't understand, that it's first of all, it's copyright infringement, to do anything of that nature, and it really does. It really doesn't help the artist at all, and it really hurts the economy of Tejano music as a business.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I know I've seen plenty of that, and I'm like, oh Lord. That's why even with my music, Rosie Allison is my right hand when it comes to us sending music out to radio, and she promotes not only my music, but she promotes my artists. And we were noticing that we kept sending the song out to radio before it came out on streaming platforms, and then boom, it would pop up on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, okay, so here's this. And in particular, it's a YouTube channel that says Gig'em Aggie. Or Gig'em.
Wow, she's calling them out.
It's called Gig'em. That's the YouTube channel.
So they were probably on somebody's mailing list of music.
It was someone that was on the list.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I kept sending Gig'em, copyright infringement, because I'm trying to protect my artists. I'm trying to protect us, And so, I think they would pull it down and then try it with someone else, but it's irritating to see that. So I was like, okay, I uploaded it to streaming platforms, and by the end of January, it was over 1 million streams. And now it's over 2 million streams and counting since January, which was pretty incredible to see that fans really, really love it, you know. So I posted that picture of me and Melissa at the photo shoot of the Quiero Ser Tu Amante, and she's
Getting you
doing
ready.
my hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, I love the red, but I just can't, you know.
Shelly, and speaking of all the music you've made, do you, and this is a question that I haven't asked a lot of artists that have been around, you know what I mean, that are seasoned as yourself. Do checks come in the mail ever so often? Like you walk to the mailbox like, oh we
yeah,
got a check.
yeah. Sound exchange. Of course, you know, because I have a catalog of music that, again, like you said, fans can't get anymore. It stays pretty steady for me, you know.
Just when you least expect it, like, oh, hell yeah.
And the cool thing, the real cool thing about this, and I've seen and this is a really positive thing that's been happening in our industry, because, you know, we don't want to just talk about the bad stuff, right?
Right.
So for so long, there were so many internet stations, and you and I have talked about this before. Remember, they were really mad at me because I was upset with them because they were saying, we're helping Tejano, we're opening a radio station, we're online, and we're going to play all the new artists that the FM stations don't play. And I'm like, okay, first of all, we're talking quality, okay? Quality. And then 2, they were not licensed stations. And those of y'all bumper fans that are listening and asking, well, what does that mean? That means that if I wrote the song and I published the song, when the song is played on their radio station, I'm not getting royalties like I'm supposed to, and it's against the law.
Right.
Okay.
So most internet stations, at least I know the ones that I associate myself with.
Well, this was when it first
when it first came
started
out.
coming out.
But I think artists started poking
We
the
have
bear.
to.
You don't know for sure. No,
have to.
definitely. You poked the bear enough that the bear finally took notice and like, okay.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, and I'll just say it because I know for a fact, I talk to Andrew all the time. Hot Tejano.
No, they're licensed station, for sure.
They're a licensed station, and they and with that, and you know, going off of what Shelly's saying, these are fees that their station has to pay, and these
it's
fees,
not cheap.
It is not
It's
cheap.
not cheap.
And it this is what goes to the artist, you know, getting those checks, because if not, I mean, it's literally like you just taking their music and playing it for free.
Yeah,
like,
it's so
you know?
annoying. It's really annoying. But now, like when we did the internet party this past year, all of the stations that were there are licensed stations now. So I'm like, yes, thank you. This is what we're supposed to do. Because I tell them, you know, you wanted a radio station. Yeah, it's going to be expensive to pay for licensing. But again, let's talk about the economy of Tejano music, you know, as a business. And we have to keep putting back into it what needs to be there. Again, it's against the law to do this and not pay songwriters. And that's why in the 90s, when we had all these FM stations, that's why our royalties were good, because they were licensed stations.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to see more BMI checks again, and you know, seeing that come back, and that feels great.
That's
I mean,
good,
that's how
man.
it's supposed to be.
And Shell, so that we're on the subject, how do you feel about the big time DJs that are like doing TikTok and they do their lives, and
I hate when they speed it up or they slow it down.
No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's Facebook, right? And
Yeah.
that's Facebook does it on purpose, so it keeps them
they
from
don't
doing
have to do
right.
that.
So they don't have to do that. But you know, on TikTok, which is probably the biggest platform right now as far as social media wise, you know, you can go on man. I would say usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, but now you can go 7 days a week. If your algorithm has anything to do with Tejano, you will find a DJ playing live Tejano music. I would venture to say that probably 90% of those guys don't pay a fee, right, or whatever. But at the same time, I look at it like, you know, they're
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, you know.
But here's the thing, they're not profiting, right? So a DJ really is not profiting from TikTok.
Well, that depends on how well your TikTok is doing.
Right, and you're absolutely right. But an internet station is literally in business to make money and they're playing music. They got ads, they got sponsorships, they got things like that, right?
Money with the sponsorship.
And so like the DJs is kind of like a hobby. They're just, you know, they're just spinning some music and letting you guys hear it. I like it just because, you know, you said it earlier about the new artists. A lot of these DJs now, there's a lot of DJs that are really big on making sure that we're getting new Tejano music and new artists, which is great, man.
Yeah, it is great.
That's what we, I go back to that interview of me and you 4.5 years ago, and this is the God honest truth show. 4.5 years ago when you were here and you came in, I was nervous as hell. One of my first big Tejano artists to ever interview, and then to be in my home, just a whole bunch of things going all at once, and trying to do an interview with Shelly Lares. We spoke about something, and one thing you brought up was like there wasn't a lot of female Tejano artists at that moment in time. I'm talking 4.5 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 54 months ago. There wasn't that many Tejano female artists. There wasn't. I mean, there was ones and twos that were
I'm not
trying
talking about recording one or two singles either. I'm talking about committing
their time and making music, and they're going at it. From then, from and not because of that conversation, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to say that, but from then till now, it has grown a shitload.
For sure.
And
I
it's,
mean,
good.
I will definitely take some sort of credit for that as well, because I have taken a lot of these women under my wing as a mentor and, help them find ways to navigate through this industry, because they still call me, with, Shel, what do you think? Or they run things by me. And that means a lot to me because they value my opinion and they know that I'm going to be honest with them too, So I'm going to be honest on both sides of the coin. Meaning I'm going to be honest with them from an industry standpoint, like a fan standpoint, a label, everything, and then I'm also going to be honest with them from an artist standpoint, what they need to do, because it's really a community, and but at the same time, it is a business, it is a business at the end of the day. It's how we feed our family. It's our livelihood. It's our art. And I just hate that even to this day, not only in Tejano music, but in so many other genres, we have to really prove ourselves and our art and not give what we're worth in so many aspects. And Patsy Torres and I were talking about this just today. A lot of times with a singer, they're like, oh, well, we're having this event, just come and sing, and we're like, we don't just come and sing, dude. This is our livelihood. This is what we do, and Patsy, she made me laugh. She's like, because sometimes they're like, oh, well, I'll just, I'll buy you some tacos or I'll buy you some food. And we're like, that's beside the point. I mean, so I am honest with them, but I will say that, I have had difficult conversations with not only the women, but men too, new and veteran. I've had difficult conversations with them and have kind of shown them. And with the new artists, with me, it's almost like a boot camp that you go through because, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I have to, because it's the moment they walk through my studio door. Well, first of all, I'm still waiting for my mat to come in, my welcome mat that says, check your ego at the door, because that's what I expect at Shell Shock, because I'm not here to deal with bad attitudes. I'm not here to deal with negativity. If you want to be an artist, I'm here to help you figure out why you want to do what you're doing. And that's always my first question. Why do you want to be an artist? And sometimes they're like, I don't know.
I use ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Or sometimes like, oh, because, I just want to be on stage and I want to have, this so many followers on my social media or whatever. Like, okay, well, I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong of them to do it, but if that's their goal, then I'm not the producer for them. Yeah. But if they tell me because it's my passion, it's what I love. And then, it's easy for us to emulate people when we're very young. I mean, I emulated Patsy Torres when I was 10 years old. Yeah. I wanted to wear the headband too, dude. I didn't wear the spandex, but it's easy. But, I have to teach my artists in the beginning. I really have to. I'm almost a therapist also, because I'm asking them, who are you as an artist? Tell me what made you love music. Tell me some of your experiences in life. Be real with me. Like, dig deep as to why you want this to be your art, because music is not anything I take lightly. Music is one of the most powerful gifts that God can give you as an artist, because it is the one thing that we all love in this world, and it is the one way that we communicate with another person.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a big thing when people come up to you and say, "Oh my God, you know, I grew up on your music." Or, like, just for instance, the other day I did Spicewood Park Elementary. I did 8 career day sessions, the whole day, 8 classes, and I told them, there was one teacher there, and she goes, "Do you remember when you had this Shelly look-alike contest at South Park Mall?" And I go, "Absolutely remember that." And Aisha was there. Aisha performed at that thing too. So I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Look," and she showed me a picture of herself. She was a young little girl with me, and she's like, "My mom has always taken me to all your shows." And then here I was at her elementary that she teaches her students, right?
That's
and
crazy,
so I tell the
dude.
students, I'm like, "Look, your teacher, when she hears me, she thinks of her mom," you know, and that's something that we don't think about. Well, most of us don't probably think about when we're in that studio creating this music. And I tell them, and what you create is forever.
Yep.
That record, whether it be your first or second single, it's forever, dude. It will forever be part of your musical legacy, always. So you got to make everything count. And fans deserve you deserve to give your best to what you love.
Yeah.
And then your fans deserve your best with what you love. I mean, that's just, our industry deserves that. Tejano music deserves that.
The absolute one thing that I want to leave you guys with, you know, Shelly talked about her artist, and you know how much work she puts into the artist, because that's her work ethic. That's what she believes in. But as a podcaster, as a host of a show, as a fan of Tejano music, as a follower of her social media, one of the things that you guys don't see is like she really slapped the table with like her artists. But if you follow her, you know that it's not just her artist that she's giving her time and effort into. You know, for you guys watching, like she does this for pretty much anybody that comes across her that asks for her advice. I mean, it could be easy, like, "Hey, dude, I'm busy right now. Like, you know, I got all this shit going on." No, the fact that the legendary Shelly Lares is stopping whatever she's doing to make time for, whether it's a 2-minute phone call, a 30-second text, whatever the case may be, like, stop to think about that, right? That's what I want people to take away from Shell. You know, it's real easy for her to speak on her artists and Shell Shock Records, but it's not just her artists, and it's not just Shell Shock Records. It's any person trying to make music in our genre. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing, Shelly, that I've always respected about you since the day that I met you, was your love and your passion for this genre. And you, it is a flag that you carry, regardless if you're on stage or not. It's a flag that you will carry for the rest of your life, and you won't let it get trampled on.
Oh no.
And I've seen it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen it in person. I've seen it from far. Right? She is somebody who really carries the Tejano flag, and it's an honor and a privilege. One, to call you my friend, right? But two, just to know that, you know, you're that person, Shell. You're that person that has carried the flag, you know, for so many years, dude. And
Thank you.
And you're not somebody who's gonna pass off the flag. That person better pretty much deserve it, right? And understand what they're grabbing, and what torch Shelly's giving you, because it literally is a torch. You know, you guys, have you ever gone to a any kind of retirement or something? It's always, you always hear somebody say like, I carry this torch for you know how many years. I'm passing it on. It's not just passing it to anybody, right? Because you want that fire to continue to burn. The same fire that you added to, the same torch you carried, even when it got heavy, even when the fire looked like it was going low, you found some way to keep it lit and to keep it going, and you did that. So, you know, it is your right, and it is your absolute right to give that torch to somebody who you know is going to continue to keep it lit and keep it held high. You know
I
what
want
I mean?
them to understand, you know, that when they work for it, they're just going to appreciate it a whole lot more. You know, it just does something different to you, especially when you get to be, 53, my age. I mean, I was talking to students that were 10 years old, and my telling them, and even for me, it was like a little bit of a wow moment, because when I'm talking to these students and I'm like, I was 10 years old when I stepped into a recording studio for the first time, and I stepped on a stage for the first time. I was your age, and I'm looking at them and I was like, I was a child, I was like, but the amount of discipline that it took for me to really persevere and put my all into what I love. And it's never really been work for me, honestly. It's just been effort, because I think there's a difference between work. You call it work when you're doing something because you have to do it, but I think it's more effort when you're doing something you're passionate about. And if your passion is music, then it deserves your 150% effort always. For sure. And you never stop reinventing yourself. You never stop being consistent. You never stop working to push yourself to the next level. Like, that never ends. Like, I don't care how old you are. It never stops.
Yeah.
And our Tejano community has always been very complacent. And, and I think our genre especially, we cover so many areas of the music world that, we need to not put it in a box and just let it breathe. Let it be art. Just let it be art. However the artist wants to express themselves. But on this flip side of this coin, you do, if you want to be on radio, you do, if you want to be a long-lasting artist, you do have to approach things a certain way. Like, songs need to make sense, Lyrically, they have to be good lyrics. I mean, come on. We don't want to be a joke to, lyrics that are chaffs, because I've heard it before. And I'm like, why are they singing those words? Like, because a person that's going to hear Tejano music for the first time is going to be like, oh, somebody that speaks Spanish.
To the first grade.
Yeah,
right?
and they're like, oh, no, at least, a little kindergartner could have written better lyrics than that.
Right.
So, I know my lane, and my lane is not lyrics, and that's why I have Jose Rosario write my lyrics, so... But
saludos to that guy.
Yeah,
that guy's a legend himself.
Been part of my journey since I was 13 years old. Jose has been in my life.
He still looks the same.
Yeah, still does. Yeah, it's that gray stuff that we use on our hair now. But I love Tejano, and I'll continue to fight for it. I'll continue to mentor the next generation. But yeah,
no, for sure, man. Well, I know you guys are used to a long 2-hour show, but we have some things to do tonight, this Thursday night.
Yay!
You can find me. I'm going to be out here in a few minutes. I'm going to be out at the Tejano Explosion with Chente and the guys. I think tonight we have La 45, La Fiebre, and Mike Gonzalez and the Iconics. So myself, Eddie, all the Wacky Wednesday crew, we're leaving here in a few minutes, and we're going from here. We'll see everybody out there at the Tejano Explosion. But shall we come to the part of the show? And before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, tomorrow night, Katy, Texas is the place to be.
It's happening.
Right? Texas Roadhouse Saloon. No, I said it right, Eddie?
You said it right.
Texas Roadhouse Saloon. El Primo, Roberto Polido, and of course, yours truly, the beautiful and the lovely little Miss Dynamite, Shelly Lares is going to be there. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Texas Rodeo Saloon, Katy, Texas. If you're in Houston, you're in Pasadena, you're in Rosenberg, you're in Richmond, you're in, I don't know, all those pueblitos out there.
All of them are headed out there. They don't have to go deep into Houston anymore to go check out the bands.
Right there. So, and that place is huge.
But I have fans coming from Dallas. I have fans coming from the Valley. I was even from San Antonio. I was like, wow, that's going to be pretty fun to see. But
you excited?
Yeah, and I'm going to do some stuff I haven't done since the 90s. So that's going to be really fun. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I thought I was going to forget the words, but I was at rehearsals like, hey, wow, I guess they're just engraved in my brain already.
Don't feel bad, because I went to, speaking of Roberto Polido, me and my wife and Jacob, because, I tell you guys, you got to put these young people in Tejano music. You got to teach them while they're young. Mm-hmm. I took my son, he's 10 years old. I took him to go see the what is it? La Puerta what? What's the tour?
La Puerta Grande.
La Puerta Grande. So we went, we saw Roberto Polido, we saw Bobby Polido. We had great seats, and my son just the stage, just freaking out. Of course, he knows Bobby somewhat in a personal level. Like he's been here and he's talked to him everywhere we've gone. So for him to see him like that, and then with the people, it's different than seeing him in here, or you know what I mean, backstage somewhere. When he sees like that, he's just like, wait a minute, like this guy's big time. You know what I mean? But Shell, what a wonderful show they did.
I heard it was great.
Bobby and Roberto, whoever did their show, the way they're doing it. If you guys get a chance to go see that tour, make sure you guys get your tickets wherever they're going. And again, Roberto Pulido is going to be there tomorrow, dude. I mean,
I'm excited.
You know what I mean?
I think it's been like at least probably since 21 that Roberto and I shared the stage together. Yeah, I think Midland was the last time.
He's still funny as heck.
Oh,
dude.
I know he is. He's always been crazy, but he's a good man and he's an icon, dude. I mean,
that's awesome.
He's given a lot of his life to this industry, so we definitely, and it's just a night of celebrating Tejano music. That's all it is. Just come out there and have fun and enjoy the evening.
Katy, Texas, man. If you guys are in the area, make sure you go out there. Texas Roadhouse Saloon, Shelly Lares, Roberto Pulido. Shell, if you have any thank yous, any farewells, anything, any saludos, any shout outs, whatever you're going to do, the microphone is yours.
Thanks to you and Eddie, of course, for always doing such a fabulous job, here at Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. All the amazing fans that are loyal and watch every week and share every week. Thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting Tejano music. I mean, on behalf of all of the Tejano artists, and especially on behalf of Shell Shock Records 3, I just want to say, be on the lookout. We have more music coming out. I'm releasing Ali's first mariachi song called Por Amor a Ti. Annika's album is coming out, first Neo Soul full 11-song album. I'm going to be working with some stuff with UTSA this coming year, God willing. I'm going to be hopefully developing a Tejano band ensemble out of UTSA. So, yeah, it's going to be great. So we're hoping about that. And then, of course, Harmony Hospice Care. I'm loving singing for the patients and bringing comfort care to them. So I love it. But, yeah, we'll be seeing y'all on the flip side.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, tomorrow night, Katy, Texas Roadhouse Saloon, El Primo Roberto Pulido, and, of course, Little Miss Dynamite, Shelly Lares coming back. Ladies and gentlemen. You see this? Don't
be spreading the rumors about San Antonio either, Mom. Yeah. I really don't know what you were talking about.
That wasn't me. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but it wasn't me.
They don't put attention to the flyers, dude. I mean.
Somebody said, like, hey, Mom, I think she's doing one in San Antonio. I was like, ooh, okay.
That's from Harmony Hospice Care, guys. Diosito, ayúdame, Señor, por favor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining us on this Thursday edition of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Shell, it's always an honor and a privilege to having you.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
And we wish you the best tomorrow night. Kick butt, take names, and make sure you guys go out there and show some support. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Woo!
Peace.
Andrew Pulido here from Hot Tejano. Keep watching out for Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Every Wednesday, it's the best shit on the internet.